Okay, so these are the American Horror Story questions that I got, and you guys stop sending them in on Anon. Seriously, don't be afraid. I mean, you can ask me pretty much anything and I will answer it about American Horror Story. I'll leave those limits there. Anyways, the few that I did get sent in are mostly by the same person, and then I got one sent in from another. But let's see. The end of my messages. Montgomery Nora asks, it's my favorite quote from season 1. God, that's a hard question, actually. It's lame, but probably the deadest disco line that Hayden said. But there's so many different quotes and stuff that I love from the series, especially in season 1. Although I think this season has my favorite quote so far. I mean, you just can't beat sweating, what Madison said, sweating vaginas or whatever, and then the whole gator hating thing. But then Normal People Scare Me asked, who do you think is the Supreme? Misty. I hope to God it is Misty. I love Misty. I want her to be her. If she's not her, the Supreme, then it better be either Zachary Quinto, who is supposedly going to be in this season of American Horror Story, according to, like, if you look on his little credit thing or whatever, it says that he's on American Horror Story Coven. So it better be Misty, whoever the hell Zachary Quinto's character is going to be, or it better be Stevie Nicks. Like, Stevie Nicks just magically shows up in the show and is like, oh, guess what? I'm the Supreme, I'm the White Witch, bitch. But, Normal People Scare Me also asked me another question. It said, who will win in a fight between Minotaur, Rubberman, and Bloodyface? Choose wisely. Why do I have to choose wisely? The Minotaur thing kind of freaked me out, and I don't want to get started on Rubberman, but I'd have to say Bloodyface. But then again, Minotaur is still alive with what happened to him, like what Fiona or whoever did to him, so I don't want to give away any spoilers or whatever that happens, even though it was a few episodes back. But I feel like Minotaur is kind of immortal, whereas Bloodyface isn't. So it would be down between Rubberman and Minotaur. And since Rubberman cannot leave the house, I would have to say the Minotaur would win. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that answer, the Minotaur, because it can go wherever the fuck it wants to, and it is a strong, independent Minotaur that don't need no man, okay? Now the other questions that I got were on Anon, and it asked what my favorite character was from each season. From season 1, I would have to say probably either Chad Warwick, and I wish they would have gone into more detail about his character, or I love Vivian because she is the smartest character in horror movies that I have ever seen. I mean, seriously, in the first episode when she thought somebody broke into her house, she called the cops. She felt the doorknob when she thought there was a fire and saw smoke and all that, you know, and she's just the smartest person that was on that show. I swear to God that she was. But those would probably be my favorites from season 1, aside from Tate. Like, I love Tate's character, and he really got me hooked into watching this season, even though everybody pretty much knew what was going on there. From season 2, in Asylum, I loved what Francis Conroy's character was, the death. I think that put a really interesting aspect into it. I also loved Bloodyface because it was a really complex character, and how they tried blaming it on one of the characters, but then they also made twists and turns throughout the season. It's just crazy. Trying to think, is there anybody else from that season? I mean, I love all the characters because they're all like really well developed, but season 2 I kind of felt was more so rushed. Like, they tried throwing in a whole bunch of horror movie stuff into there, from like Clockwork Orange, Psycho, Hills Have Eyes. Like, there's so many references in that season to different movies, and it's just nuts, and it just felt rushed, but it was so good in the end. But that's getting off the topic. And from this season, Misty Day, without a doubt, her and Madison Montgomery are my favorite characters. I also love Queenie because, I mean, the bitch can stab a fork into her hand and make it hurt another person, or shove her hand down to a deep fryer. I mean, how cool is that? I just hate the fact that everybody's like picking fun of her weight and everything, because Gabourey Sidibe, or however you pronounce her name is, shut up. I hate my phone. She's an amazing actress, and so very talented and everything, and I'm really glad to see her. And then Jamie Brewer is, like, I have actually talked to her, and she is one of the sweetest people ever. You see. Nobody else sent me in questions? Come on now. Like, you guys can come off and on here and send me in questions. I'm not going to bite your head off. But that's all the questions I have for so far, so if you have any more, send them in. Do not be afraid. I will answer them. Alright. This is Monday video number 4, I believe.